Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to ETS2. We have a different mod enabled today. We have the next generation textures, I think it's called. I'll include it in the mods list. I think it's there already. And to test it out, we'll be traveling quite a long distance actually. We'll be traveling all the way from Italy, crossing Switzerland, and then maybe touching Germany as well. Maybe we can reroute and then going to France so we can experience and we can check the different textures and the different kinds of roads in the different DLCs. Well, we won't see Scandinavia, but I think this would be a good enough sample to see how the next generation textures change things, and to see if we like it and if it's good performance wise and whatnot. So the coverage of this mod, the ones I enabled, are particularly the base textures and also the vegetation. So the road textures, the grass, maybe the trees are changed, but the sky is purely foggy weather, right? Just to make it that clear. So I didn't implement, because if you follow his guide, the next gen textures, it also includes reshade and all that stuff, the skies and everything. So I didn't include that part. Only the vegetation and the road textures are included in this particular combination, right? Just to make it clear. Anyway, before we get started, I was really wanting to modify a bit the truck, because as nice as this is the reward from the World of Trucks event. I'm not a huge fan of that racing thing, so I downloaded some skins from Lizzie for the Scania S, and we'll be trying that out. What I like in particular, although you guys probably won't like it, and I hope it's here. Oh, maybe. Oh, don't tell me that's only for the big thing. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, it's here, right? No, that's different. Oh crap. Okay, we'll have to make it the high roof then. Oh man. Alright, don't worry, we'll make this work. We will make this work. There we go. So we have two skins. One is called the Reunion, and the other one is, oh, why doesn't it show? Did I not enable it? Oh, maybe I didn't enable it. Fine. Yeah, but it would have been so nice to see. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to use right now. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's pretty fancy. It looks like it follows like the Android material design, if you get what I mean. It's like solid colors, very classy. It's like 2D, cartoonish in nature, but it's actually a very nice combination. Wait a minute, what is that? I think that's the wrong paint job kind of thing. Yeah, maybe I have to pick a different style for that to work. We'll see how it works. Okay, anyway, let's go and adjust this, and you guys let me know if you're not a fan so we can switch it up. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's keep it stock, and then this one I think we can go and make that paint. That's already paint though. Interesting. Yeah, let's keep that paint. This one, can we make that paint too? Does it work? Not really. Let's keep it stock. Let's leave that there. That is paint already, yes. And this one, low paint. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that looks good. The only thing that's off is this mirror kind of thing. So I guess we have to put that one. Yeah. Paint luxury doesn't work with this combination, but that one does. Alright, so let's keep that. The ones here, doesn't seem like the third axle has the orange lining, but we can chalk that up to variation, I guess. But yeah, I think we can go with that. V8 still there. 520. This is what? Paint. V8 power paint. Can we just go with Scania V8 power? Yeah, it looks cleaner that way. And then this one. Should we go with the painted thing, and then can we go like make it an orange kind of deal here, similar to that shade? Will it work though, like that? Will it work? It will work, but we have to remove this one, something like so. right? Something like so. This one in the middle. Even the nuts, I'm not sure. Maybe it has to be white or like a bit grayish. How about that? Yeah, I think white works. So we have all the colors. We have like the orange, the white, and the black all in the wheels. I think that kind of works. Yes, we just have to match. We have to find the correct match for this. So let me know what you think, if you're okay with this. Oh man. If you're okay with this paint job, alright. We can switch it up next episode if you don't like it. But for me personally, I think I like the variation. Right, let's keep that. That should be close enough, I think. Over here, paint Alcoa. Use that. Get the painted nuts. And this one, let's go with the Scania 50K Customs. Yeah, and same here. Very fancy truck. Not J-Spec by far, for a change. Because as you guys might know, I'm very much into the J-Spec thing recently, but for this truck in particular, not so much. Also, I got some comments from you guys. Since we have an exhaust here already, 2 massive exhausts here, doesn't really make sense to have another exhaust over here. Yeah, so let's change that. Let's go with the V8. Yeah, remove that. So no more exhaust there because we already have 2 over here. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think we're good here. Paint and plastic gray. Does that work? We can make this plastic so there will be no like... yeah, that I think works better, right? Just black instead of having orange and... yeah, it's not too even here. Let's keep that plastic. I think that looks cleaner anyway. And in here, it doesn't really make sense to have chromey bits anymore. Like, at least not too chromey. So let's go with a paint kind of deal, if that works. Yeah, I think that works better. The gray-yellow combination works really good. Good. Let's keep that. I think I like this. And we lost the bar though. We lost the bar up top. I think I want this... where was it? Which one was it? The high bar? Yeah, I think it's what's this one. So we have the yellow Michelin. We have the lights. We have... feels weird though. The painted version feels a bit weird there. There's like white streaks. But it looks like... doesn't look that bad. Yeah, I think we can keep it. Let's keep it. Because the other option would be to make it chrome like so. It's actually not half bad, huh? Yeah, okay, let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. This one... I'm looking for this particular part here. This seems like it's plastic, you know? It's not like... I would have expected this part would be painted as well. Like this grill. This, how do you call it? This front mask ribs. It feels a bit weird. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a painted version. But that part is black, so it's not really... I think it wasn't meant for this particular skin. But I think it would work best if we have like... yeah, chrome in front I think would work. Or stock also would. But the painted one wouldn't really. Yeah, because this gives a bit of a gray lining there. That one is uneven. So it's either stock or chrome. I think stock works better. The less shiny things, the better. Right? And this one, let's go with paint. Let's remove the chromey bits. I think that looks much, much better. Good. I'm happy with that. You guys let me know if you are too, right? Okay. And then the horn. We need some air horns. Just to complete the picture. Would be that one. It's clipping through. Go here. Oh, there you go. Alright. That looks good. Perfect. Alright, let's go with that. Pretty sleek. Pretty clean looking truck. Love it. 50K. just for a repaint, because why not? Do love the clean look here though. And I removed the, so we still have foggy weather, but I removed the autumn mod already, so that the timings, the sunrise to sunset is earlier. So even if it's 6 AM, the sun is already up. Thank you, Kirill, for reminding me. Okay. As always, we have Krishbom's open pipe sounds enabled. Good. This looks a bit different. Oh, not really. Let's go with that. Reset the mileage. Not really mileage. Reset the current. Oh, wait a minute. Something changed here. Yeah, something changed. I knew it. Because we changed the chassis, also the interior changed. And so that's why it looked a bit weird, because it was not the V8 version anymore. My bad. There you go. So that we have a built-in GPS. Only thing is that costs us another 50k or 20k. But we have the money, so why not? Well, we still have all the accessories in here. The dash cam, the Scania, how do they call it? Tassel. So the CG mug, of course, and the coffee. And I saw that someone ordered another CG mug. Thank you for your order. It was an anonymous guy from Australia. Thank you for ordering that via Redbubble. If you guys want to get your own CG mug in real life, check the link in the video description for the merchandise. You can order your own and get it delivered to you. Yeah, so CG mug IRL for the win. There we go, V8 is back. The mileage, thank you. Alright, now we can go to the pickup point. Very good. So we're going to go with, it's going to be a very long trip, so it's going to be a very long episode. Might be like an hour and a half or something, it all depends. We will see. But yeah, hopefully you like it, because we will be continuing with the Q&A portion. And keep your eyes peeled for the retexturing things. Honestly, when I was trying it out, it looked very nice, but I wasn't really sure if the textures I was seeing were from like the default SES, so they really look good already, or if it was something that was improved by the next generation textures. So like the trees here, I think these had been changed, but don't quote me on that. Like I think these look very, these look more leafy. How do you say? Not like one piece. They look more individual leaves, more like trees. In terms of performance, I haven't really noticed a huge gap in the frame rate, but we will see as we drive. Yeah, you guys let me know if you notice anything, if you notice a change, and if you like it. And if you do, then we'll keep it. Actually, someone recommended this to me before. Sorry, I forgot the name, but someone in the YouTube comments recommended this to me before, and I tried it out, and I didn't like it initially, because in some areas it looked too perfect, like the roads were too white, the road markings, like the road paintings were too white. This road though, I think in particular, the one in Italy, it looks more natural. So I'm not sure if he even changed these textures on the road here, or if he left it to the Italy default textures. So I'm not sure. But yeah, some areas as we drive through Germany later, maybe, and maybe even Switzerland, you'll notice that some of the textures are really white, really clean. But I tested it during the older version, 1.1 I think it was. Now it's 1.2 already, and it might be a lot better, but a lot more realistic than the original one. And as always, we're catching all the red lights. Anyway, as we're waiting here, maybe you can get started with the Q&A. So thank you guys for sending in a lot of questions. I'm actually falling behind already, so I think let's go and catch up. The next set of questions will be coming from Kirill, aka Gearshift Trucker, the mod author of Foggy Weather. And regarding Foggy Weather, hopefully there will be I'm not sure if it's going to be a public release or an update to the beta. I can't remember which one. But yeah, there will be something, so at the very least you will see it in my vids. soon. Maybe this month if we're lucky. We'll see. It all depends on Kiril's progress. It will be ready when it's ready, right? As usual. Anyway, so Kiril has a couple of questions. Thank you, Kiril, for sending them out. They are very existential in nature. And by existential, I mean they're very deep. They're like, what is the meaning of life kind of questions. So it might get very philosophical in a bit. But yeah, I'll try to share what I have. Not really like a philosopher. I don't really have like a philosopher mind by nature, but maybe we can give our 2 cents on it, right? Car there, thank you. There we are. But yeah, we're here already, so maybe I pick up the job first and then we start with the questions, because I don't want to get lost here on the way. And you might have noticed a while ago when I showed the job in the freight market, it had like a tandem trailer. But I'm confident that we can change that somehow. Please don't let me down, otherwise I'll cry. Not really. There we go. We should be able to change it, make it a normal trailer, a normal semi, so it will fit with us. And maybe we can find a maybe we can find a matching trailer, kind of a similar color scheme as our truck. Maybe that one. That's the closest one so far. A bit of yellow, a lot of white, a tiny black part, but maybe we can find something better. That one also works, although that has a bit of green in it. If you can like find a black trailer, that would be perfect. About that one, we'll see. Rema 1000. I'm seeing a couple of different skins here that I haven't seen before, and it's strange because like this is not a Steam Workshop mod, so this only gets updated when I download the file, and I haven't downloaded anything. Maybe I just haven't seen them before. Yeah, maybe that's it. Let's see if we go to the yeah, like these things. NTM trailer, that one, it's the first time I've seen that. Interesting. Maybe it's from the last update I downloaded. Not really sure. That might fit, but that's a very plain looking trailer, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's go with that first one. Where was it? It was somewhere here, I think. That one, yeah? 3 axles, why not? Let's get that. Kind of matching. Medical vaccines from Milano to Metz. And then we'll reroute along the way so we can pass through Germany maybe. That will make it even longer though. Maybe we can follow this. So we can explore more French roads. Not really sure. Well, we'll play it by ear. There we go, that's a trailer. Bit of bouncing around. And yes, my voice is doing really good now. I'm almost back to my 100%. Hopefully it stays that way. So yeah, commentaries will resume. But yes, silent trucking videos will also be there because I've gotten a lot of comments from you guys that you really, some of you like that better actually. It's more relaxing for you, like playing it in the background. And thank you for your feedback, guys. It's always awesome to hear about what you really like, and so I can adjust easier when I have inputs from you, and I'm happy to adjust. Yeah, some people like the commentaries because they say that it's like a podcast, you know. Sometimes they don't even watch it anymore, they just listen to it while they're doing something in the background, and I perfectly understand that. I'm a huge fan of podcasts. I've only just recently discovered my enjoyment for podcasts, and I've been really listening to a lot of them with all topics like finance, personal finance, interviews and whatnot. Oh man, this is a huge trailer. Huh, maybe I should have gotten a longer spoiler, huh? Kind of missed that. Anyway, so this will not go very well from aerodynamics point of view, but if we pass through a what do you call, if we pass through a mechanic, maybe we can improve the spoiler. I do love the trailer though, and trailer cables work perfectly fine. Ekiri trailers for the win. Nice. Okay, let's resume. Let us reset the average fuel consumption so we can take a look at what we'll get at the end of the trip. And before I proceed here, let us check our route. Right, Italy, Corn, crossing to Switzerland. And then, instead of going via France here, we can actually cross over to Germany like so. That will make it 758 kilometers. And then we can also probably pass by Strasbourg, so we can explore it, uncover that. So we get a bit of Italian roads, a bit of Swiss roads, a bit of German roads, and a bit of French roads, so we can all see how the textures look like, and if we like what they're seeing, and if anyone will notice any difference in terms of frame rate, in terms of looks and whatnot. And we can all judge the next generation textures 1.2 better. And if I'm getting that name wrong, I'm really sorry, but I think that's the name. But I always have a hard time remembering things, as you guys might know. Goldfish memory for the win. Ooh. Good thing I looked right. I looked left rather, before turning right. Alright, here we go. Really loving the climate again. Longer daytimes are always good. Wrong gear. Longer daytimes, less night times is perfect for me. I hate driving at night because you can't really appreciate the views. And although it's realistic, seeing the lights and everything, it's not as relaxing, you know. It feels a bit sad. Oh crap, that was close. All right, let us start with the questions. Kirill asks, number 1, and I might not have a very good answer for this. Who we are. I'm not really sure what the context of that is. I don't think that's a troll question or anything. I think that's an existentialist question. Like, who are we? Like, I don't know. We are human beings. We are... I don't know how to answer that correctly, but let me answer in my own way. Bro, can I move over? You can go, and I'll squeeze in after you. There we go. Oh, this is an Ekiri trailer as well. Look at that. But I'm not sure if that's Ekiri from Ekiri Pack or if that's from Sissel's trailers or whatnot. Because I didn't know Ekiri's trailers were part of the AI. I thought they were only part of the trailers that you could do as jobs, but not part of traffic. Whoa, did you guys see that? That orange truck absolutely disappeared. Harry Potter type. Okay, so who are we? We are human beings that have come to exist because of evolution, starting from microorganisms, and by sheer luck have become the beings that we are now. By luck or by evolution or whatnot. That's what I think. That's what I think. But I'm no expert. But anyway, I will expound on this more with the following questions, so don't worry about that. And I hope that you guys can hear me well. I hope the engine isn't too loud. Let me know if it is, and I'll adjust next episode, okay? Yeah, if it is though, bear with me for a moment. Bear with me the entire episode, that is. Let's just take a look at the truck another time. That looks really beautiful. Love it. Very fancy look. Okay, so the second question. So all these will be coming from Kirill, right? He asked a series of questions. The next one would be And don't worry if the answer to the previous one is a bit incomplete. I will expound more on that on the following questions because they're a bit related. Thank you. So far, in terms of textures, do you guys notice anything? Is this like whiter or something? Verona. I don't notice anything different with the road textures, but I think the vegetation looks a bit better. If that's like placebo effect, psychological or something, I'm not sure. But you guys let me know. Anyway, second question, do you believe in aliens? As a matter of fact, I do. I just find it impossible. You know, my brain, and I was discussing this with Mrs. Clumsy a couple of days ago because we were watching Lost in Space, that series in Netflix. You might have watched it. It's very nice, very family oriented. It's about a family traveling together and getting lost in space and crash landing on an alien planet, and the fun begins. So I just find it really hard to believe. I just find it impossible that nothing else lives in the world, in the universe. I mean, with so many different planets, you know, I've been playing Elite Dangerous, been watching all these sci-fi movies, sci-fi series, and I think everyone agrees how huge the universe is and how massive it is and how impossible it can be to, or how our brain can't even understand or wrap our the concepts around how large the universe is. That's how I look at it. It's just humongous. And with all those planets, with the millions or billions or trillions or gazillions and the infinite planets in the universe, don't you think it's impossible that there is no single living thing out there? It doesn't have to be like a full like human or a Martian or whatnot, because an alien is defined by something, a living organism that is living, able to live outside Earth. That's my own definition. If it's a bit different, sorry, but I guess it's in a high level way, it's correct. Yeah? If there is something living outside Earth that did not originate from Earth, then that's an alien from our point of view. And something living doesn't have to mean that it's a full, like, how do you say, complex being. It can be like a single-celled organism, you know, a bacteria, a virus, I don't know, something that's very simple, but is from and came from a different planet. That's an alien. And I just find it impossible that in the millions and billions and millions, now I sound like some president. I just find it impossible that no one else lives with that kind of probability. Yeah, so I'm not sure if there would be. I even believe that there are so many different species out there. You know, just like Star Wars, the different species. Because with how wide the universe is, how massive it is, I just find it impossible that nothing else exists out there. What, we're the only ones who got lucky, who were made into form, who lived or something. So definitely I believe in aliens. Now if there are aliens nearby, that's a different question. That might sound a bit more like controversial. That might sound a bit more like a conspiracy theory, like Area 51 kind of thing. Have aliens been here before? And that is a bit more, I'm less confident there, but I still believe in it. I don't know. Maybe it's just my exposure to sci-fi movies, too many movies, but I think aliens have come here before, or maybe are still here now, and they're maybe, I don't know, observing, trying to blend in or hide because they don't want to intrude with the normal lives of the people who live here. But yeah, I wouldn't put it past that there are aliens currently or aliens who have been here before. This looks really beautiful. I'm not sure why, but this view just looks magnificent. Let's take a photo. I'm sure we'll see a lot more on the way, but why miss a good photo op? But yes, I definitely believe in aliens. How they look, how complex they are, that's a different question altogether, and is outside my realm of expertise. But yeah, if you're going to ask me, do aliens exist? I would say a resounding yes, even if I don't have proof. I mean, just basing on probability, I would say. That one is a beautiful looking truck. But I think we have to also emphasize the beauty of the scenery right here in front of us. And so, let's get something like maybe that. Yes, a bit. Not too shabby. Right? Not too shabby. Let's include the gas station, the Any. I really love that mod from, whose is this from? I think this is from Satan 19990. So I'm not using the ProMods trailer and company pack. I'm using Satan 19990's Real Companies mod. That's in the mods list if you want to see, because he changes the gas stations even for Italy and France areas. Like in France, you know that Echo ECO gas station here in the game, he replaces that with the real thing. And it looks so much better. I really hate that Echo gas station because the lettering doesn't look very professional. It looks something that was made from PowerPoint, not in a good way. I have nothing against PowerPoint. Actually, if you look at my logo, the CG logo and the CG mug, that was made in PowerPoint. I did that in PowerPoint myself. I'm no pro, but yeah, at least it doesn't look like a normal text. Like there is some art in it, I would say. Anyway, so yeah, let me know if you're liking the textures so far, the vegetation and the road, and let me know especially if you notice any difference with the default, because I think I'll keep the textures that yeah, this one might be from the mod. You see the white lines are very apparent. This might be from that one. Very clean. I think that's one of the characteristics of this next gen textures. It's very defined. And it's good in a way, but I think I prefer it a bit gray, a bit faded out, so it's more realistic. But it's a very small matter. Anyway, so yes, aliens, definitely a resounding yes, I believe in them. And if there are aliens in the solar system, in our solar system, maybe. But maybe not as complex as us. I don't know. But in the universe, for sure. Third one. Would you like to time travel to remedy an error you made in the past? This is a very controversial thing. And from what I've learned about time travel, from the movies, from the different series like Flash, the space-time continuum, it's not as straightforward, right? I have like the butterfly effect, whatnot. So even though there is a mistake that I want to change, I want to make it right, I want to go back in time and correct it, I can't think of a particular moment, but I am against it. And I'm against it for a couple of reasons. One being that space-time continuum thingy. If that's real, then it might do more harm than good. You know, correcting that might make it, let's say, for example, how do you say? Let's work on it on an embarrassing moment, for example. Let's say during high school, I did an embarrassing moment. Maybe I tripped over in front of my crush, something like that, something as small as that. And I didn't want to do that, let's say. Okay, so I go back in time, I guide myself so I don't trip over, and my crush didn't think I was like a clumsy guy, let's say it like that. Fine. Then embarrassing moment over. But what happens moving forward? That's the tricky thing, you know. And I'm not sure if it's just me, but I'm seeing like some FPS loss. I'm not sure if it's because of the mod. Oh, and I just noticed that the sun visor is a bit weird. Like it's multicolored weird, that one. Sun visor. Because it's paint, and I think the paint job isn't compatible with that. So maybe we have to change that as well, make it just black or something. Anyway, I'm getting some frame drops. I'm not sure if it's because of the textures. It might very well be. It's because I'm getting like 98% GPU utilization here. So my video card is maxing out. And normally in highways like these, my GPU doesn't really get maxed out. So yeah, it might be that the textures are a bit more in terms of load. At least for my specs, GTX 1070. But they kind of look nice, so let's try them out. You let me know what you think, okay? Anyway, yes, so let's say, alright, I did that, I changed that. So I prevented an embarrassing moment. The question is, what happens moving forward? And with all the complications of time, like there is this butterfly effect they say, right? Like they say it's like the flapping of a butterfly's wings, like from a continent away, can change so many things here in a different area. And just, I'm not sure if that's really holds any meaning, but the simpler thing to understand is what you change has consequences further down the road. It's not just that thing that you change that changes. It's so many other things as well. Oh no. Oh crap. Brake please. Thank you. Thank you. Disaster averted. Anyone there? Oh, good. I thought this was like a, how do you say, a random event, but whenever I pass through this road, that road is under construction, so it appears like it's maybe a ProMods thing. I'm not sure, or an SCS thing. Maybe it's a ProMods thing. How's my consumption? 37.7. That's not bad for a V8 520 engine. Anyway, yes, so the real problem with changing something in the past, from my point of view, is how it changes other things as well. Like, it could be like the smallest thing, you know, avoiding tripping over at a certain moment, avoid being clumsy in a certain moment, but it could have serious ramifications. What if, because of that, you didn't meet the person that you ended up with today? Yeah. What if I didn't meet Mrs. Clumsy because of that instance? You know, if I was with somebody because of that, then I definitely don't want that. And it will be impossible to connect all these different events together. And I don't think it will be possible to isolate a specific moment that you only change that and nothing else. I think that's impossible. So no, I don't think I'll change anything in the past. And so that's like the sci-fi answer, right? The first reason. The second reason is more realistic and more life lesson in nature. And I wouldn't change anything in the past as much as I would want to change some things for sure. Because whatever mistakes you make in the past, they help you to grow whatever you are now. And hopefully that's the mistakes that you make give a better, like they change you more, they shape you more as a person. Because if you didn't make those mistakes, then you didn't learn from them. And the goal is, even if you made those mistakes, the goal is you learn from them and you become a better person because of them. And if you didn't make any mistakes, then you didn't learn, and you're not as good a person as you might be right now. Yeah, so no matter how embarrassing, no matter how disastrous those instances might be, if you didn't have them, maybe you won't be in your position. Maybe you won't be like, I think of myself as not a bad person. Maybe not the best person out there, but I would think of myself as a good person, yeah. And maybe if I remove some of my experiences, some of my mistakes, maybe they won't make me become as good a person, yeah. Maybe I won't be as good. So I would keep everything as it is. And I'm a very forward-thinking person. That's what Mrs. Clumsy always tells about me. I'm a very forward-thinking person, and that's also part of the reason why I have such a goldfish memory. I don't have a very good memory because I always like thinking forward. Like my memory is, I always forget things that happened, because I'm always focused on what will happen next and what's currently happening. And I'm that kind of person. So if I make a mistake, fine. How do I make up for it? How do I learn from it? How do I make sure that doesn't happen? How do I make this a win for me? That sounds like a self-help, motivational kind of thing, but it's true, right? You can't really change anything in the past, so might as well shape that, use that to change something in the future. That's my point of view. And so no. The short answer is no, I won't change anything. And I think I am noticing some changes in the textures. Are you? Yeah, I think the textures are very different. You guys let me know if it looks better for you or if you prefer SCS ones. And here, my GPU is not being taxed as much. Oh, that's sharp. Good thing is we have to swerve left anyway. But yeah, that's an amazing question, Kirill. Thanks for that. So it allowed me to share a bit more of my, how do you say, principles, what I've learned from the different things I've been reading and listening to in my life experiences as well. Well, that's very nice. Is that like a castle? Cool. Are we in Switzerland already? I think we are. I think we crossed a while ago. And I was too busy talking, or it might be my goldfish memory that I forgot all about it already. Anyway, alright. So yeah, just to remind everybody, this is the next generation textures, or whatever it's called, and foggy weather. So real generation textures, base textures like roads and vegetation, but the sky is from foggy weather, and no reshade, nothing like that, okay? So this is purely foggy weather, skies, and lighting. Ooh, nice train. Slow down a bit here. Actually, don't need to slow that much, I think. Yeah, it's not that sharp. Good. Alright, so the next question. What do you think about time traveling in general? Do you think it is possible? Do you think it will be possible very soon? Yeah, it's a very controversial thing. Not really sure how it would work, you know. Like, if you time travel, it's a very tricky thing. Like, if you travel to, like, let's say it's possible, right? I'm not sure, I can't answer if it's very close. My point of view is we're not yet at that level, but I'm not really up to date with the recent findings, the recent changes, the recent scientific breakthroughs, so I can really give an accurate answer about that. Oh, this is a very nice scenery. Maybe we can take a photo here on the bridge. Let's fly over. This looks nice. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. That one definitely looks a lot better. Okay, let's get a bit wider in here, just show more of the scenery maybe. So Something like that does work. Or actually we can zoom in a bit more. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. Next generation textures. Plus foggy weather. Good combo. Is that good? Alright. Yeah, this definitely is from the next gen textures. The very clean looking textures like that. It's a bit too clean for my taste, but you do see a lot of it. I mean, you do see it very well. It's like glowing at some points, right? Because it's too white. But it's not a bad thing, I guess. It's just not. I just like it a bit rougher. Oh, this is not our way. Crap. Should be going through here. Phew. Last minute changing of lanes. Not very good. I think I just drove through here recently in a silent trucking episode. It looks like we are crossing over to Germany. From Switzerland to Germany, I think. Man, this looks so good. Look at that. But there is a rubbernecker here who is slowing down, looking at that guy who got caught by the police. Shame on you. Oh crap! Thank you, Scania brakes. The cars here are insane, just suddenly braking. Okay, fine. Let's go through here. Even the textures here, I think, were changed. I think so. I remember going through like a drop-off point and noticing very different, like, flooring. We'll see, we'll see. These are definitely different. I think I'm getting more FPS loss though. But yeah, let me know if it's okay or if it's too much. And we'll change it back next episode. Right, yes, so time traveling, I'm not sure how far we are in it, if it's even going to be possible. But it does raise a few questions, right? I mean, let's say it is possible. Let's say it can work. Alright, let's say, okay, so if I go into a time traveling machine, or if I time travel, alright, fine. Let's say I go back to 10 years ago. Okay? So if I go back to 10 years ago, that means me in current period is not existing anymore, right? I won't be here because I will be elsewhere. I will be 10 years ago. And from 10 years ago, there would be two of us, right? Me from current period and me from 10 years ago. So that's more or less pretty clear. Question is, how do you go back, right? So you go back 10 years ago, fine, and now I want to go back to current period. The machine, whatever it is, would have to be able to change and bring you back to the exact time and the exact period where you were from. Because imagine this. Okay, you came back 10 years ago to 10 years ago, but now you want to go back. And instead of getting you back to the exact period where you were from, it transferred you, it moved you to the period 9 years, like, let's say 9 years. Yeah, keep it simpler. It just moved you back 9 years, so you're like still 1 year behind. So there would be two versions of you in there, the version of you a year behind and your current version, yeah, your current self, right? And let's go with that theory, let's go with that pattern and say So what would happen? Let me focus on this because I might get lost. Looks like a very complicated junction. This looks very good though. Oh, there we go. This is interesting. There's a traffic light here. Oh, and there as well. Okay, fine. Good. So, yeah, let's say... Oh, another one. Okay. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you. So how do you even go back to the same exact period to make sure that you are going back to the period where you are not existing? Because let's say you go back to that a different period, right? And two of you are there. What if you get back to like a second, a difference in 1 second? You get what I mean? Like, okay, let's start from the beginning. You go back 10 years ago, you time travel to 10 years ago, and then you're done. You want to go back to the current period, but the current period is like, it brings you back to the current period minus 1 second, right? Not to the exact one you were from. Does that mean there will be two of you? Like your current version and your current version minus 1 second? Or, you know, how about a millisecond, a microsecond? So how many versions of you can there be? So it's too complicated to think about. I can't even wrap my head around that concept. That's the thing I find difficult the most. How you can, like, it would mean you are, I don't know how you can go back there. Like, it would be impossible to go back to that same version. It would be like there would be always two of you, because you would have to be super accurate to the down to the the smallest amount of the smallest measure of time or something. Maybe even less than that. That's the thing I can't wrap my head around. But if you guys have more info on that, on how the current theory, how the current concept works in terms of what movies, what series use and whatnot, I guess let me know, right? And 1 sec, someone is calling. Oh, and I'm back, kinda-ish. Give me a sec. There we go. Oh man, now I have to edit this video. Because someone was knocking at the door, and it's the maintenance guy for the air conditioning. So every 3 months that needs to be maintained, and it was scheduled for today, but they were a bit early, so man. But anyway, it should still make the video in time, release in time, even if I have to edit it, I think. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed. And if you're watching this Monday, then it means that I did make it in time. Yeah, but normally I don't edit my videos because it would just take more time to render. It takes like around 2 hours to render because of how high res the video is and how long it is. So that's 2 hours at least in addition to the actual recording, and it just lessens my overall output. And for these kinds of videos, I don't really need to record it. Some videos are better if recorded, or edited rather, but this type, the Let's Plays, I think it's best if I keep it natural. And it's easier for me. It's not bad for the quality, I guess, unless you say it is. You let me know. But yeah, my ideal setup is I don't edit it at all. I just record it and I post it directly. Optimization is key. Efficiency. Slow down, bro. Oh, let car pass. Thank you. Alright, where was I? I think I was in the time travel topic, right? So yeah, I'm not sure how that would continue. If you were like time traveling back, if you're traveling back in time, or even traveling forward, and then you travel back to where you want to be, how do you make sure that there doesn't end up being two of you in the time you went back to? And does it even work like that? Maybe there's only one of you. Although I find this hard to believe. Okay, let me go, thank you. Maybe there is only one of you, regardless of the time era. Like, if you go back to 10 years ago, there wouldn't be a version of you from 10 years ago. There would only be a version of you how you are now. Or maybe it's the opposite way. There would only be the version of you 10 years ago. I find that highly unlikely though. I find that highly unlikely. I think there would be like multiple versions of you depending on the time era. But yeah, that would effectively mean that like you can like have multiple versions of yourself if you just go through the different go through the different areas, like different times. Yeah, get your version from a second ago, get your version from 2 seconds ago, and then all of you go and go to a specific area, like being able to clone yourself effectively. And how does that work? Also, one of the bigger questions is, how does that work? Also, this city looks so good. Man, that intersection looks so beautiful. I'm getting really laggy in here though. Yeah, I guess it must be the city and the textures grouping up together and teaming up on my CPU and GPU. Yeah, my CPU is now the one taking the print of it. Anyway, yeah, so how does that work? Like, if your version, if you go back in time, if you leave your current time era, so to speak, does that time era just continue without your existence? Because how would you, like, yeah, it relates to the first question. How would you go back? I don't know. It's just too much for my brain to handle. Maybe in 1,000 years we'll get an answer. Or, I don't know, maybe in 10 years there will be something. But I don't like messing with time. I like to keep the natural order of things, you know. I don't want to tweak it so much. I don't want to mod it out. I keep it vanilla, so to speak. Although they did say that space and time are closely related, so it might be that in order to travel like farther distances and across space, it would relate to like time travel as well. I'm not sure how it works. Let's see. Good. Thank you. Alright. Next question from Kirill. What was the greatest mistake the humans have ever done? Oh, that's deep. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's a different flooring. Different flooring, right? Oh, and that was a mechanic. I could have modified my spoilers there. Man, I missed it. Maybe there is another one. I doubt it, but maybe. Let's see how far we have to go for to get to our destination. 182, okay. 182 kilometers, that's not too far away. Go please, thank you. And yeah, I start to feel that my voice is still not, my throat is still not 100% okay. It's starting to just ache a bit, not a lot, but I can still feel it. So it's not at 100%, but at least I can start talking again. Anyway, the last question from Kirill. What was the greatest mistake the humans have ever done, in your opinion? I think the biggest mistake humans have, and I think it's part of human nature, unfortunately, so I don't think there is a solution to it aside from eradicating humans, which is not a very good choice. Although it has been the theme of many stories, movies, and books, yes? I think the main problem of humans is their greed. It's our greed. Like, we are never satisfied, we are never content. We always want more and more and more and more. And have we crossed over to France? This looks like France already. Wait a minute. Let me open the map. The textures look like France. Yeah, we did. Wait a minute. Is Strasbourg part of Germany or France? Wait a minute. So we crossed here from Switzerland to Germany. And then from Germany, maybe we crossed over earlier already. I didn't really notice. But I thought Strasbourg was part of Germany. It does sound German. But in the map, it looks like it's part of France already. So maybe we are in France. Yeah, maybe we are in France already. Okay. Good. So the textures, the road does look like the default French textures. I'm not sure. Maybe he did a few tweaks but kept it mostly intact. I'm not really sure. And I need to do much more aggressive engine braking. There we go. That should work. The 30 should do the trick. Yeah, I think the biggest mistake, the biggest flaw in human nature is greed. Like you could argue that people are inherently good, and yeah, but at the heart of it, there's always that greed. There's always that desire to do more, to get more. And we're never fully happy. We always want more and more and more. And since resources are finite, then it's only a matter of time until the desires grow more than the resources. And that, I think, would lead to problems. That's the one, ELF. In the SES default, that's Echo, ECO. Now it's been made into ELF. And that looks so much better than the Echo default ones. The lettering, especially. I don't mind that it's not real, the Echo. I'm fine that it's fictional company. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. But the lettering is like from the 90s or even older. And it doesn't look very good at all. But that ELF there looks so real. So nicely done. So nicely lettered. And I do like this particular road. Very much varied, different elevation on the two directions. I like that. And why is everyone driving so slow? Bros. Guys. There you go. Okay, fine. So yeah, I think the greed is the problem, and we always have to keep it in check. We must not succumb to our greed, and we must learn to be happy. So it's the right balance between like wanting more and becoming content. Yeah, it's the right balance between being happy with what you already have and striving for more. So being too greedy, never being happy, never being content is just a recipe for disaster. Yeah? You'll work hard all your life and never be happy because you'll never be... nothing will be enough. It will never be enough. And at the other side of the spectrum, you're happy too early, that you don't get to accomplish anything and you're just happy. On one end, that's good, but on the other, in terms of the community, the world, you won't be able to contribute much if that's the case, right? That's the problem. So a right balance, I think, would work. But yeah, at the heart of it, I think greed is the root of all evil. Wanting more in excess is the main, I would say it's the main driver for all these wars and conflicts. Like, we are really abusing our resources here in this world. Like, the scenario, like if you are familiar with the Fallout scenario, where it's like 2022 or 2220, sometime in the near future, basically. and the world is not what it was. All the buildings are ruined. There was a nuclear holocaust or something. That's not a very far reality if we keep on doing what we're doing. Like, everybody is out for himself. Yeah, we're producing all these waste. We're tapping all these resources for more money, more for bigger companies, for bigger stuff, bigger things. And on one end, it's good because we're developing the technology, right? We're making it a better place for people, or are we? But on the other end, it's also a problem. I think I have to stay here because I am going off that thing. Yeah, I think these roads are like the default ones because the paint is less pronounced. You can see the paint is not too white. It's not glowing because of its whiteness. That's what I want. Wow, foggy weather for the win. Looks so good. Man, that fog looks so good. Love it. Doesn't happen often. That's a very rare occurrence. That looks so real, doesn't it? Let's make sure our lights are on. And we're almost here. Just in time to finish Kirill's questions. Yeah, but I think it's the greed that's really the problem. Like, all the wars, what is the concept, right? War because of territory. People want this land, people want that land, but other people want it too, right? That's the common theme. Or a country lays claim to this part of the map, but this other country lays claim to it as well. You know, it's always about wanting more. Oh crap. Oh crap. Don't crash into that that poor guy. Thank you. Maybe slow down a little bit more. Oh no! We're braking! These AI cars are insane. It's a 50 speed limit junction and he slowed down to like 20. No harm, no foul, right? Anyway. Oh, and it's raining. Just in time to finish our journey. But yeah, I think that's the main weakness. And so, like, the concept, the the Lost in Space series, the one I was watching with Mrs. Clumsy, the theme of that is the Earth has become how do you say, polluted. Maybe they've tapped all the natural resources and whatnot. So people are. Oh, and before we finish the job, let's go through here and yeah, maybe fix our spoiler. So at least we have a nice look when we get to the company. Looks so pro. One sec. There we go. Wipers off. Let's fix that spoiler even before. Let's see, can I even fix it? Maybe there is. I don't think there is an option. Maybe that's just a too high trailer. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. There is no option. This is the highest we can go. Okay, my bad. Carry on. Carry on. Wipers. It's time to go because it rained already. But this is a very high trailer, huh? Quite high, actually. What is that? Is that Finnish? FI. What's the .fi country code? Finland, maybe, huh? Anyway, yeah, so to complete the answer to that question, And the Lost in Space theme. Yeah, so Earth has become uninhabitable, or is closely reaching that part. So some people have decided to, and they have made available, space travel is now a thing in that series. And so people are going, the goal is to go to a different, like, galaxy, a different a different planet, to start a new life and whatnot. But yeah, and one of the lines from one of the characters there really made a lot of sense to me. Like, he said, like, it doesn't matter where people are going, the people are still the people are the problem. Like, it doesn't matter how many worlds we live in, if we don't change our nature, if we don't fight it, our greed, then we will just, yeah, fine, we found a new planet, but we'll just pollute it and do the same thing as we did with Earth. And it's only a matter of time until we need to find a new one. And what does that make us as human beings, right? It makes us like Galactus. It makes us destroyer of worlds, right? If you think of it that way, what do? We stay, we go to a planet, we use up all its resources, and then we leave, and then we find another one. That's basically what we're doing. And how does that make us, right? What does that mean? What kind of people are we? What kind of stewards are we? Like, I'm a Christian, and I believe the teachings that we have been made stewards by God. And what kind of stewards will we be if we just consume everything we want and move on to consume more things, right? How does it work in the natural order of things? How do animals do it? Like, there is an ecosystem, right, which renews itself. Animals, like, there is a food chain. Animals eat each other. Right? Some animals eat them and eat them in turn, and then when they pass away, they go back to Earth. They are renewed, and the whole cycle repeats. And the Earth, the planet, the ecosystem, renews itself. But with the greed we have, we are destroying that ecosystem. We're not allowing the world to renew its resources, and eventually it's just a matter of time before we use it all up, and we have to transfer somewhere else and then move our bad habits there. So it's a very bad habit. It's a very bad thing that we've grown how to live. It's not a sustainable thing, and that's why there are a lot of initiatives happening now which focus on the sustainability. Yeah? Companies are starting to get looked at. Are you using too much plastic? Are you, oh, look at that, 50k, level 31, amazing. That's amazing. Long distance, high value, fragile, and then bonus parking, beautiful. We're now level 30, guys. The big 3-0, and let's get max eco driving in here. Nice. Because speaking of sustainability, that's what we want. Make it more eco-friendly. Eco-friendly. Let's have a look at our mileage, our fuel consumption. See? 36.1. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. But yeah. So yes, that's my take on that. I think we really have to step up and start caring. Start giving a damn about what we're consuming, and not just consume and think that everything is limitless. Yeah? You have to give back to the world. Let it heal itself. That's my point of view there. Those are my 2 cents. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for the questions, Kirill. That's an amazing set of questions you had. Amazing topics. So let me know what you think about those. If you have your own answers, if you disagree or agree with some of them, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to have discussions, more discussions with you. And if you have more questions, let me know. Just hit it up in the Discord server, questions channel. Just post them there. Right? Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit the like button, really helps a lot. And comment, share, that really helps. Let's bring it out there. Let's bring the awareness out there. Yeah? Think of it as your contribution to the human race. Anyway, thank you for watching. Clumsy trucking, everybody. Catch you in the next episode. Looking forward to the next Q&A session because there are a lot more lined up. So thank you very much for that, guys. Keep them coming. Thanks, and Clumsy trucking. And I just noticed that I lost all my lights in front except for the two up top. Yep. Whoops. We'll bring that back next episode. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.